Humping the mic like Aerosmith. What?
All right, ready? Three,
Yeah, yo.
2, 1. Sup?
Yes, hello. We are back finally with the new comic book versus.
Super clear mic too.
Yes, fantastic. Unfortunately, we won't be this quality every day.
Don't
We
say
will be
that.
in the near future, though. Once I get back from school, hopefully we will actually have access to this mic more often.
Yeah, sorry for the hiatus. We
It's
do this
been-
every season.
it's been quite an odyssey.
It's our tradition.
It is. This is our mid-season break. Our Agents of Shield. We took a break for the Special Olympics. You guys, nobody else did. We thought we'd recognize them.
Yep.
They're people too.
Someone
guys.
has to do it.
Yeah. So, anyways, what else can we say about this matchup? This is Banshee and Black Canary.
This is a first for us. I think it's our first all-female matchup.
Screamers,
I want
too.
to say, yes, they're both screamers. Or at least when I'm there, they're screamers. But,
Okay, Josh.
But anyways,
Josh wants to pull Destiny's Child. Say
yeah.
my name. Say my name.
No, Trey Songs. I'm gonna make the neighbors know my name.
Okay, we're
my
fine now.
name, my name.
Nobody.
Okay, but anyways, two very powerful female
Too
characters, both Sonic based, and it's pretty
Yeah.
cool because Black Canary is getting very popular right now due to Arrow.
Oh, you brought up Arrow. You told me not to.
sadly,
You told me not to.
Well, I'm saying the positive light of it,
Uh-huh.
but not the confusing part like Sarah Laurel. But also, this new 52 Black Canary, if you didn't know, with our show, always the modern incarnations of the characters.
Absolutely.
So it's new 52 and Banshee. Now, the thing really quickly, you're probably thinking about because of X-Men First Class, most likely.
Thinking about Sean Cassidy.
Yes, this is his
Her
daughter,
daddy.
Teresa Cassidy.
Yep.
So we try to keep it as balanced as possible. They're actually really fairly matched to a degree.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a pretty cool fight.
It's interesting.
Pretty cool debate.
You know, we always typically try to find people with similar characters that match up very well across the two comic book publishers, but this is a rare thing where they're not actually exact copies of each other, and we'll explain it more. But typically, at first glance, they seem pretty evenly matched. But when you look at it more, Banshee seems to have the edge in sort of the sonic projection, whereas Black Canary, at least in the new 52, is much more trained as a hand-to-hand combatant.
Well,
So
I'd
it's
say
quite
Black
a little.
Canary was always probably like at least
Oh,
the
yeah.
more physical, like
Absolutely.
combat-wise.
New
fighter,
52
but-
just made it a lot more so.
but
I think.
it's pretty cool. We'll talk about it obviously the more we get into it.
Fantastic.
And CJ, we'll start first with Banshee.
I guess I'm going first.
I have Black Canary. Black Canary. I said
Black Canaro.
Canaro. I have Black Canaro.
You got it on the mind. I'm gonna have to mention that later.
He's a hot redhead.
All right.
I have the devilishly
In the
amazing
spirit
blonde.
of this, I gotta clear the pipes. La 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 la. No. Okay. Banshee. Actually, a lot of you. Banshee originally, the original Sean Cassidy, great character. Undoubtedly, probably one of the
Underused.
great original X-Men. Underused,
He's
really.
currently a Horseman of the Apocalypse and Uncanny Avengers.
That's fantastic. I'm for it. I haven't been following that, but
I haven't really either. I read a little bit.
I just love. I also love him in First Class. What a fantastic movie! But this one, and so when we were talking about Banshee, I was assuming it was the male Banshee, and I was thinking this would be our first ever or our second ever
Yeah,
male
'cause we had
female
Spider-Man Ant.
male female character matchup. So I was thinking that this was going to be very 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 controversial because not many people think of Ant as a female character. Not many people know who Ant is.
Yeah, that's very true.
But anyways, so when I found out it was Teresa Cassidy, I was kind of like, okay, this is going to be a challenge. I know more about the original Banshee than I do about his daughter. But I decided to give it a shot anyways. So a little bit of background on Teresa. She is the daughter, of course, of the original Banshee, Sean Cassidy. Originally, she used the codename Siren when her father was still fairly active. She is a mutant primarily with the ability of audiokinesis, and that is the ability to move things with sound.
Manipulate sound.
Manipulate sound
All that
and
great stuff.
all that fantastic
It's a
sound
little
genre.
OP if you actually think about it too
Yes,
deeply.
and we'll get into how OP her sound ability is. But when her father died, she took his code name, becoming the new Banshee. And her abilities, primarily, it's audiokinesis, the manipulation of sound, but she's also a fairly trained combatant, and she has sonic scream. And that's a pretty common thing. Black Canary also has a sonic scream. But Banshee, what separates her is just her heightened audiokinesis. And we'll get into that in a little bit in energy projection. But first, real quick, her equipment, all she has is the Banshee suit. Not a whole lot, but she doesn't need a whole lot because she's got all the tools in the golden pipes. So let's get into the stats without further ado. Strength, 130 pounds. I believe that is only 2 bars. I need the strength
Yes, it
here.
is.
2 bars, 130 pounds. And that's not bad. That's about her weight. So she can lift her weight, her own body weight, in an overhead press over her head. Her speed, it's Mach 1. That is 4 bars, but it's only Mach 1 in flight, and she can use her her sonic scream to fly really quickly, as we saw in First Class, as Banshee did, sort of like that. She can make herself fly. Her stats, her intelligence is normal. Of course, she got a little learning in at Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. She got learned, but it's not so much so that she's actually like super intelligent.
It's not like college educated.
No, it's like you went to an alternative high school.
Oh.
Sort of. I mean, I get when they're out fighting crime, how much learning are they really doing?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Exactly.
That's a debate for one day. Like, how much do they actually learn at that school?
Maybe that'll be a discussion one time.
That'd be cool.
Is it a really shitty school? Her fighting, she's trained. She was, of course, trained in combat with the X-Men. They're not going to send them out there unprepared. So she learned a little bit basic hand-to-hand combat. Her durability also, it's 3 bars, but you notice the asterisk. And this is interesting. I did not know this about Teresa Cassidy until we started researching. It's enhanced because she has something called Sonic Shield, where she uses the audio waves to block incoming, I would say projectiles, but it can't really stop bullets. But it typically coats her, and it doesn't coat her, but she uses that to prevent oncoming attacks. And it's actually pretty cool. Like I said, it can't stop bullets, so it has limited usage. But we'll deal more in her sonic abilities once we get to energy projection, which we're going to right now. Her energy projection, it's technically 5 bars. It's a single type, but I think what really differentiates her is the fact that she can use it in so many different ways. I mean, she can she can destroy a lot of objects with her voice. She can manipulate people's balance when concentrating her sonics to someone's ear. She can influence people with a special pitch and create a field of no sound, so she can create like a vacuum of no sound. And she's also immune to the effects of her powers, which is something that Black Canary isn't. Black Canary is not immune to her powers. But she can also be harmed from prolonged use of her sonic scream. But potentially the biggest thing is, just how much she can do with the sonic scream rather than just making people's ears hurt. She can actually, focus it, destroy stuff with it, and use it as a weapon and use it as a targeted weapon, I should say, as rather just an area effect weapon. And to me, that's going to be the deciding thing in this battle, is how she can target it and use it like any other weapon, any other energy projection that people have. But I'm going to save the rest of my knowledge for the rebuttal and let Josh go in for a second with Black Canary. So here you go.
Okay, so Black Canary, obviously, I think she's going to be the popular choice between the two characters. But yeah, so this is New 52 Black Canary. There's a few changes. One being that
Cup size.
She is a yes, but one being that, and she's still from Gotham City, so that's the same. But she was a member of the technically was a member of the Special Ops group before they kind of got taken out / ended, called Team 7. They actually had their own book too. You should probably check it out. It's not that great, but it's pretty interesting as a whole, especially for her character. She's also, though, the leader of the Birds of Prey, so that's pretty cool. I'm happy they kept that in the New 52. She also she has a superhuman ability of projecting essentially sonic waves from her mouth, or I guess basically the Canary Cry, Sonic Scream. And she's still technically married because he's not dead, but he's believed to be dead. He's married to someone called Kurt Lance. He was also a member of Team 7. So for all the Black Canary fans, sorry, not sorry. I guess New 52 wasn't really agreeing with you there. So, but yeah, let's get to her stuff. Real name is DINAH Drake Lance because, like I said, she's still technically married to this person. She never changed her name back after, they thought he died. Her abilities, she's a skilled acrobat, master combatant, skilled strategist, and she has a sonic scream, obviously. And her equipment is the Canary suit. Now, with the Canary suit, I'll get more into it, especially when I talk about her, flight and all that extra stuff. But it's pretty cool. They actually gave the fishnets a purpose in the 52. They're not just there to make her look hot.
Damn, that's functional.
It is functional. Technically, flexibility-wise, it's very functional.
I agree. Do you own a pair of fishnets, Josh?
I will not answer that. Her strength, though, is 2 bars. Max is 130 pounds, just like Banshee. She's a highly athletic person, obviously, due to the fact that she's, due to the nature of her work, essentially. Just like how the X-Men, they do a lot of what would be considered special ops missions. She obviously did that with Team 7 also. So she could lift slightly above her own body weight. It's not a big difference. She weighs like 123 or something, so it's like 7 pounds more.
Notice, yeah, he claims that she's highly athletic for lifting 7 pounds more than Banshee. I find that interesting, Joshua. Where's the dividing line?
Her speed, though, it's superhuman technically when she's flying. Now, one thing they did kind of add to her character in New 52 was she kind of has, and they probably took this from Banshee's character, But with her Canary suit, she can kind of make these like wing-like things come out, which look just like what Banshee has, essentially. And she can use her sonic scream to fly.
If you can't beat him, join him.
She actually did do that in New 52. I'm not just like bullshitting you guys. But they don't say how fast it goes, but I don't think it's past Mach 1. So we put up here superhuman. So it's projected that it most likely will not be able to go past 700 miles per hour, just due to the fact that, they don't say how fast it is, but they say it's kind of fast, but it's not like supersonic fast or anything like that.
700 is nothing to sneeze at. That's pretty quick, though.
That is still pretty fast, faster than I can run.
I believe that's like the speed.
Obviously.
Barely. I believe that's the speed. Well, actually, no, I'm not even gonna. That's about like, not like fighter jet speed, but that's like passenger plane speed.
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
Yeah.
Anyways, her intelligence, she's been learning in tactics, leadership, among other subjects, due to her involvement with Team 7 for several years. So, she's not like just, a random kid off the block, like.
She did not just learn.
She did not go to an alternative school like Banshee.
Okay. But she basically just got picked up on the street by a dude.
Well, actually, funny story. Her origin is that she was kind of a street kid, and she just kind of got, like, taken in by this dojo Never mind.
Something that would not happen in today's world.
No, it would not. Not without the police and
yes,
it's like some like
an Amber Alert would have been issued.
An Amber Alert. Check your iPhones, kids. But fighting though, she is a level 6 bars master. She's a master of multiple martial arts. One thing that Black Canary, we mentioned it really earlier in the beginning of this video. One thing Black Canary is very, very well known for is her fighting ability. So she has been training martial arts since she was a kid. And she's probably, I'd say, a lot of people use Batman as an example of like really good martial artist. I'd say she's on par with Batman, if not maybe slightly better than Batman.
You do not understand the firestorm.
I know.
The shit has hit the fan.
To a degree.
You have just
That's what I'm gonna say.
So much hate mail.
But anyways, she's a master of boxing, Muay Thai, Capoeira. I think I said that wrong.
Capoeira.
There you go. Krav Maga. I'm trying to read this from far away. Hapkido, Kung Fu, Dragon Style, which I know Tiger Style, so I'm just letting you guys know Dragon Style is really hard to learn. I know someone who actually does Dragon Style right now. Many, many more. Those are just the ones that she's considered a master of. She's obviously been exposed to many more, and she kind of blends it into her own hybrid style of fighting
nice plug
when
there.
She does her thing. Thank you. Now, her durability, she is technically bulletproof. Now, the reason why is because her Canary suit, and I said I'd go into it when I get to this part. She described it as a Kevlar carbon fiber polymer mesh, at least like the kind of fishnet-like part. As you can tell, her skin looks less skinny and more like silver-like. That's because of that. And also, I guess because Team 7 is kind of standardized. The way they have their suits, they're very, very durable because they are basically sent out there to fight superhuman threats. So also her suit's made to take high impact forces. So that's why it is a 5 bar.
Okay, so it's bulletproof. I'm going to explain why that doesn't matter in a little bit.
Well, it's not like we're shooting bullets at each other.
No.
Pow pow.
Just singing.
Anyways, her energy, it's single type. It's 5 bars. Single type long distance, basically that's what it means for 5 bars versus 4 bars single type. But she can project a powerful sonic scream. Her screams can shatter metal, liquefy bones, stun opponents, and even harm them too. And just brief extras. She usually carries standard equipment with her due to the type of missions she's on. So I believe she'd probably have something with her. And usually she carries something that goes along with her sonic abilities. Due to the fact that she did go through a time where her powers kind of went haywire. So I'd assume she'd have something still with her like she did in the comics briefly that kind of disrupted her abilities, which could be applied to Banshee, potentially.
I would say that's very...
Potentially,
but it's subjective. It's like... what's the word I'm looking for? It's a reach. It's a stretch. You could say it's like she'd potentially have that. She's used that in the past, but she potentially could also not have it.
That's why I said potentially.
Yes.
Keyword
potentially.
All right, so let's get into the bread and the butter. I didn't even rebut anything actually yet.
Not yet. I rebut.
So
and
you're
then you
pre-rebutting my
You
rebuttals?
rebut my rebut.
My future rebuttals.
All right, more or less. Bottom line, best thing about Black Canary is she's hot. I'm joking. She's actually extremely talented in hand-to-hand, but the question is, how much is that going to play in? And you played up a lot of the durability factor too, the fact that she's wearing bulletproof fishnets. I don't get how you have bulletproof fishnets because they've got
fishnets.
holes. They're not fishnets anymore.
No, they
Lame.
look like fishnets to some people. To the perverted type of
To
person.
muggles, I
To
guess,
muggle- oh.
Josh.
To muggles. What is this,
They
Harry
look
Potter?
like what? So now they're just casting whatever. I don't even have time for that. All right, durability. One, I'm going to address why bulletproof does not matter. One, Banshee doesn't have a gun, and that's end of list. What Banshee has is these, extremely powerful audiokinesis.
Well, they're for powerful forces too, not just bullets.
Well, they're for powerful forces, but it's not like she's going to be able to keep running. And it's like, if you say armor is resistant to powerful forces, that's like
that are equivalent to like the force of a bullet.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's equivalent to a force of a bullet, but she's still going to be like knocked around by this shit.
Oh yeah.
And you notice she's not wearing anything on her arms either.
Yeah, she has stuff on her arms.
She's got like a bunch of exposed skin in the picture you have in the thumbnail. But no.
No, she doesn't.
And she also has her entire face exposed.
Okay, but you gotta give her. She has sleeves.
Barely. She's got her shoulders exposed.
No, not. That's her padding.
That's a shoulder, dude. Let's agree to disagree. All right. But still, she's got her entire face exposed. So it's like if you get hit with this wall of sonic projection, because let's face it, Black Canary's sonic powers extend only to, I'm gonna scream really loud and people's ears are gonna hurt and it'll incapacitate them. One,
That's racist to blonde people.
Banshee is resistant. I did not
That's
use
what
a
they sound
Valley
like
Girl
when they
accent.
argue.
I
That's
did
what they sound
not.
like when they argue.
I said nothing about pumpkin spice lattes.
What?
All right, here we go. But no, Black Canary's sonic powers extend only to, incapacitating people. One, Banshee's not going to be affected by that because she's not affected by sonic powers. Like Black Canary is also, she's affected by sonic powers. But two, Black Canary can easily alter that sound wave with her audiokinesis. So it's not like, so I feel like Black Canary's, any sort of sonic ability she has is going to be disrupted by Banshee's abilities. And moving on to another subject, you mentioned fighting a lot. Fighting skills are very important, but how this is not even going to be a close quarters fight. Like Black Canary is going to be trying to make this a close quarters fight because she's a strategist and a tactician. She's going to be trying to bring it in close. But if I was Banshee, it's really easy to not let her just keep knocking her away with these giant like fists of sound. It's like you're going to keep her away at least until you basically use your audiokinesis to blow her damn head off. So I mean that's just me. I feel like, yeah, she's an excellent fighter. Like she's definitely up there with Batman. I don't think she's better than Batman, but I think she's up there with Batman.
I'm gonna stop mentioning Batman.
Do it.
Before we die.
You're gonna get so much hate mail. But she's up there with Batman in fighting, and she's much more durable than Banshee. But Banshee's sheer sonic ability is way more than enough to
more
keep
advanced.
Black Canary. It's more advanced in what it can do, and also the amount. It's in what it can do and the sheer power of it, I think. So I'm going to turn it over to you real quick to rebut my rebuttals.
Okay, so as I rebut CJ's rebuttal, just keep in mind, like I said, New 52, Black Canary. Yeah. Anyways, so with Black Canary versus Banshee, I think we both agree Banshee obviously has much more advanced sound abilities, and Black Canary has much more advanced combat abilities. Now, I think this really comes into play where how's the fight getting started? Are they just being thrown into a random arena? Because obviously we have no home field advantage for either character, but are they just being thrown in there? Are they like, being put in an area where they can maybe like kind of hide for a bit? Like that really comes into play. I think in a scenario where they both are kind of there, they don't have anywhere to hide, no really chance to really plan out anything. I think Banshee would take it really because of the fact that mid-long range, like she could keep her away from her. So like CJ said, close quarters fight. Obviously Black Canary would dominate that.
I think we've said before it's like an arena. They get dropped into an arena.
Okay. In that case, I think Banshee would have the initial advantage just due to her much more sound manipulative abilities. She could keep Black Canary away. Like I'm sure Black Canary will put up a good fight, but unless Black Canary can get close, she's not going to be able to do really much advantage-wise. So that's kind of sucks for Black Canary. But I do think if, let's say, Black Canary has potentially her sound disrupting equipment, that could come into play. I'm not saying she does potentially, because kind of like how other superheroes do, they have equipment, depends on the situation kind of thing. Obviously, they don't know they're going to fight each other, so it's kind of a, what would they usually have kind of thing. So, but I think with it all being said and done, Banshee suit's not really all that protective. So unless Banshee does have, like, let's say, her sound shield up, I'm sure if Black Canary can get a good hit in, that will kind of disorient her enough so she couldn't really focus with her sound abilities to retaliate. But if, they're far enough away from each other, like, let's say 20 feet, I'm pretty sure before Black Canary could reach her, Banshee would be able to do something which would not end that well for Black Canary. I know a lot of Black Canary fans aren't going to be happy with this, but, the truth of it is she is more advanced sound manipulative wise.
I will say, though, Black Canary, it's like we say, it's highly subjective. I know Josh really does think Black Canary would win. I think Banshee would win. I think we're both set in our ways. But
I changed my mind, though, when I thought about the
trying
fact
to keep
that...
you from playing devil's advocate.
No, I changed my mind. I thought about the fact that, wait, what's keeping Banshee from just manipulating...
Let me have this victory, damn it.
Well, what's keeping Banshee from manipulating Black Canary sound waves back at her?
True. Well, I don't think she would manipulate them back. It's more like intercepting. It's like, if you've ever seen them... You've seen Wanted.
Yeah,
it's like you're intercepting the bullets.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's keeping her from doing... Like, let's say Black Canary releases a powerful sonic scream at Banshee. Banshee just kind of, like, redirects it back at her.
I mean, it's one of those things where there's a lot of hypotheticals to consider. I do think Banshee would win, but I know Black Canary is she's extremely popular. So I think she probably will carry this battle with the fans.
Well, the redheads are very scarce.
True.
They're
you gotta save the race, dude. You're gonna be gone by 2050.
Let's do it.
But
Demon spawns for
did you know the ancient Greeks thought that redheads would become vampires after they died? Now you learned, and you've learned more than Banshee did in all her years at the X-Men Academy.
I wonder if anyone ever mistaked her for the Human Torch when she flew by.
Probably not. She wasn't on fire.
Well, she had, like...
Fire crotch.
Well, she does... Ooh.
Anyways, that about wraps it up for us here. I'm still going Banshee.
Well, either way, I'll make both of them scream, my name, my name,
Okay,
my
we're
name.
about to wrap it. Stop it, Destiny's Child. All right.
That's Trey's songs.
I don't care. They both said, say my name.
Say my name, something brown.
I don't.
Now we're going to Drake.
And your challenge in the comments: 1, tell us who would win this fight. 2, tell us the name of the third Destiny's Child member other than Beyonce and Kelly Rowland. $5 says it's not even on the internet. I don't think you could do it. Anyways, that about wraps it up from us. Thank you for tuning into this edition of the Sing Off.
Yeah, I know we're much more comedic today. That's just because we both
really
got done being depressed the rest of the day.
Yes,
really.
it was a bad day.
I almost died for Captain America.
That's
a true story.
We'll mention that in our review. Yeah. But anyways, real quick shout out to our IT manager / recorder / music guy / tech genius, the Mango Melon Mohawk, my brother William Pascal.
It's a very outdated name.
It is an outdated name. He's saying that he wants to update. We'll probably come out with a reboot, retcon his character. He's going to be played by
hybrid now.
Michael B. Jordan.
Give me a cool suit.
Yeah, we're going to give him a suit.
A cool suit.
All right. So yes,
suit.
shout out to him for everything he does for the tech.
My super suit.
Yeah, William wants to be Frozone.
Frozone,
man.
That's where we're gonna go to NYCC, and Will's gonna he's gonna cosplay as Frozone. All right. So that's it for us and this 3-minute outro. Tune in next time. Hopefully we'll have the next one up on schedule next Friday. But signing off.
I don't know who it is. I know it's someone.
I don't know either. It's been too long. This is CJ.
Oh, this is Josh.
This is Frozone.
That's Frozone over there.
Oh, is that your new name, Frozone?
Frozone. That's taken. That's copyrighted,
All right,
dude.
we'll figure it out later.
All right. See you next time.